Hello and welcome back to the Ride Along Project. I am your host, Dan Bowman, with some account management tips and tricks. A couple of topics that I think are related that I want to talk about today is the first one being arriving to meetings on time, early and on time, whether that's local travel or you're planning a trip where you've got to incorporate logistics for flight plans and a lot of other things. And one of the biggest, the simplest form is you've got to get there early. And the bigger the building, the more complex the corporation, the bigger the check-in process. And so you'll want to, if you're meeting in a larger city such as Tampa or Boston, you're going to want to get there even earlier to make sure that you've got the proper time to be able to check in with security, and you are there and ready when your contact is available at the agreed upon time that you're going to meet. The second piece with that is giving yourself ample time to get there. So if you're flying, make sure that you're scheduling enough time to, kind of thwart against some of the bumps in the road related to flight delays, connections, grabbing a rental car, and all of those different things, to give yourself time to be not kind of rushing and kind of sweating bullets as you're walking in the room. And it just will certainly help bring some confidence to your overall meeting and the travel there. The thing that goes along with that is planning ahead. So not only making sure that you're getting there on time, but planning, whether that's, are you going to need paper copies for the meeting? Do you need to project something? Are there folks calling into the room? Making sure that all of those logistics are handled, and it's going to go a long way. And I want to talk about a story specific to this concept, not only of getting there early, but planning ahead. I had a large presentation in Boston one time, and we were getting ready to present a brand new technology at that time. This was probably roughly 7 or 8 years ago. And we wanted to make sure that we had access to Wi-Fi in the room. And so I actually scheduled time with one of our main contacts to go early the morning. It was either the evening before or the morning of the meeting, which was later in the day. And we spent roughly a half an hour working through kind of plan A, plan B, and plan C. And believe it or not, we ended up having to use plan C, which was the Wi-Fi off of my mobile hotspot and projecting to others' laptops in the room. And while that was not ideal, it certainly was not what we intended, and we had tested all 3 scenarios and they all worked, but the first 2 failed us in the meeting. And what could have been a really bad situation and not been a great look as a company actually turned into a positive, because the main client contact spoke up to the executive team that we were presenting to and said, look, Dan and I tested all this morning. We actually spent some deliberate time doing so. And everybody kind of laughed it off, and we were able to, we weren't so flustered that we couldn't figure out the next option to present because we had already tested it. So get there early, make sure you have a plan, even work with your contacts if you have to. It's going to make your meetings go much smoother. You'll be there and ready for them, and appreciate you tuning in today. Take care.